Hola and bienvenidos. My name is Larry Keim. In this lesson, we're going to cover AR verbs. In our previous video, we talked about subject pronouns and gave you the people that are doing an action. Now we're going to take an action word and change it to show who is doing the action by using that same template, that same subject pronoun template. So I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to begin by telling you that the first thing we need to remember, that there are three categories of verbs in Spanish. There are what we call AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. Those categories are recognized by us noticing the endings on an infinitive. An infinitive isn't a word to be intimidated by. We use them all the time in English. It just means to plus an action. To eat, to sleep, to read, to be. And then we change it because that really has no meaning by itself, because we don't know who's doing the action of speaking. And starting with the word, beginning with the word to speak, that is the AR verb that we're going to use. We're going to use the verb hablar, which means to speak. That is our beginning place. This is our infinitive. That's where we begin before we change it to show who's doing the action. What we've done, I said that there are three categories, AR, ER, and IR. We recognize this verb, this infinitive, as an AR verb because it ends in AR. And knowing that gives us the cue on how to change the verb to show who's doing an action. So the first thing we do, we note that it's an AR verb. We temporarily take that off, and what we're left with is HABL. This is called the stem. Then we take that stem and we plug it into each field of the pronoun or the conjugation template. So I'm just going to plug that in, HABL, 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 HABL. Then I go back, I recognize that it's an AR verb. And in the present tense, as opposed to the past tense, right now we're going to focus on the present tense. How do I change to speak into I speak, you speak, he speaks, she speaks, we speak, and so on? We change the ending based on the category of AR verbs in the present tense. Those AR endings for all regular AR verbs in the whole Spanish language are these endings: o, as, a, amos, ais, and an, to become hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablais, and hablan. The H in Spanish is silent. So it's not hablo, but hablo. Like in the word honest in English, the H is silent. You can see connections, make your own connections, but AR, you have A's here, and yo, the I form, kind of matches up. Yo goes with O. Yo hablo. Now, when you're communicating to a Spanish speaker, they're going to hear these endings, and they're going to instinctively, they're going to automatically know who's doing the action of speaking. And that's as simple as it is. There's a list of endings for AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. But beginning with AR, our foundational word hablar, to speak, changes I speak, yo hablo, yo hablo. You speak informal, tú hablas, tú hablas. Usted, él, ella habla. Nosotros, we speak, hablamos. Vosotros habláis. You, plural, informal, and ustedes, ellos, and ellas hablan. You guys speak or they speak. Let's put it to use. Let's begin with a question, una pregunta, a question. ¿Hablas español? Do you speak Spanish? The response, la respuesta, the response, sí, yo hablo español. ¿Hablas español? Sí, yo hablo español. Okay, hablas, what form am I speaking to? Who am I asking? Who's doing the action of speaking? Tú. Now, I could put there, hablas tú español? I could insert that there. But the great thing about Spanish is that the endings are distinct enough that just by having that ending changed from hablar to hablas to hablo, we know who's doing the action. I'm asking you directly, my friend, my peer in the you informal, the tú form, if you speak Spanish. Languages in Spanish aren't capitalized. So, ¿hablas español? Sí, yes, yo hablo. I notice the endings here changed. Now I'm saying, yes, I speak Spanish. So I changed that yo form. Now that yo form, I don't have to say yo. I can put it in there. It's not incorrect, but I could just say, sí, hablo español. I don't even have to have the yo in there because the ending's distinct enough to show that I'm doing the action of speaking Spanish.